everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am sorry that it took me so long to get another video filmed, but things have been pure chaos here and I was just not physically up to filming more than I do on my other channel. So I had to prioritize that because that one is my monetized channel where this one isn't, and like I may eventually get monetized on this channel, but that's not what this channel is about for me. This is just me journaling for myself and for my kids and, you know, for others that are struggling with chronic illness. So I apologize that it took so long, but sometimes you just can only do what you can do. But today I am physically feeling a little bit better. I think it's been what, almost 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks since I posted on here. And a lot's happened in that amount of time. My whole family got the stomach bug, which was very fun to deal with. That lasted probably a good 1.5 to 2 weeks. And then I had some doctor's visits that I had to go on. My rheumatologist, I don't remember if I put that in my last video, but my rheumatologist wanted me to go see a gastroenterologist because I have so much stomach pain. I'm sure I mentioned that I had stomach pain. I'm pretty sure that's what the last video was about. I was very lucky that there was a cancellation, so I was able to see the gastroenterologist, if I can say that, it's a tongue twister, much quicker than I normally would be able to, because it's at a very well-known hospital in my area. So I was very lucky that that happened, and I called and I was in there 4 days later, and that's unheard of in this area. So that went really well, and I had my appointment with that GI doctor last week. I'm filming this on a Wednesday, so I think I saw them on Thursday, and went through a lot of stuff, a lot of family history, my personal history, my symptoms, all the stuff and the things. And I actually felt like this doctor was really listening and paying attention, which I have found over the years, it's hard to find doctors that actually listen to you. And now I have amazing doctors all around. I don't know what's happening, but all of a sudden I'm finding doctors that are just amazing. And I'm very thankful for that. So this GI doctor, she was very proactive, and she said, you know, I need to change a few things in my life and add a few things here or there, and that she needed me to go see, not to go see, but she needed me to have a procedure done. So I was told that I needed to have an endoscopy and a colonoscopy, and let me tell you, those are not fun. And especially the prep for them sucks. I did that yesterday. I survived, yay. It was a little nerve-wracking, but I did it. I tried not to have a panic attack because they put this thing in your mouth to hold your mouth open for when you're under anesthesia. Ooh, I felt panicky when they put that in my mouth. I was kind of freaking out, but as I was starting to tell them, I felt like I was having a panic attack. The anesthesia kicked in and I was out like a light. And I woke up and I felt fine. I felt good. And for the most part, they said my scopes looked pretty good. They did biopsies, which I have to wait 10 days to get the results for those. But they did tell me that I definitely have gastritis, which is basically inflammation of your stomach lining, which is probably what has been causing me all of the pain. And there's many things that can cause that. It can be alcohol usage. I don't drink, ever. I think there are certain medicines, I think like NSAIDs can cause that. I'm allergic to NSAIDs, so I don't use those. I think caffeine's one of them. Can't do caffeine because of the inflammation in my body, so it's not that. There's like a whole list of things that you can change that can cause that, and all of those things that I could technically change, those aren't part of my life anyway, so those are definitely not the cause. And it says that sometimes it can be caused by autoimmune issues. Well, we know I have those, so our assumption is that my catalyst for the stomach issues is definitely autoimmune based. So I will be meeting with my gastroenterologist, I think in a few weeks. I don't remember the exact date right off the top of my head, but it's in my phone. So I will get the official results then, get the biopsy results, all that good stuff. But I feel like all of that is going to come back pretty normal based on what the initial report said. Obviously, you know, more people have to look at it and that kind of stuff. But I feel pretty good that everything there is okay except for the gastritis. And that is going to come back to my rheumatologist. Of course it is, because that's my life. I live my life at the rheumatologist now. And speaking of that, I had, like I said, my procedure done yesterday. Today, I went to see my rheumatologist again. It just was luck of the draw that I got them back to back. I feel like I've lived at the doctor's for the last couple of months. I got my MRI results. Yeah, that was interesting. Not good. My MRI results were not good. I'm sure at some point I mentioned that I have the HLA-B27 gene, that I carry that gene. That is a gene that makes you more susceptible to ankylosing spondylitis. And my MRI report today confirmed that I do have ankylosing spondylitis, as well as sacroiliitis. I hope I pronounced that properly. So basically, the sacroiliitis is your SI joints, which is all the joints in your pelvic region, are inflamed enough that it's chronic and it starts to cause damage to those joints in your pelvic area. And ankylosing spondylitis is, how do I explain this? It is kind of like having rheumatoid arthritis in your spine, and it generally starts from your lower lumbar region and then spreads up. And it can cause significant damage, and over time you get what they call bamboo spine, where your vertebrae actually fuse, and it almost looks like dried bamboo, where you know how it like has those seams and then it goes in and it comes out to a seam, goes in and comes out. Well, that's how your spine fuses over time, because it is a progressive degenerative disease. And that's what I have. Yay! When it rains, it pours. And it is a monsoon right now. I'm keeping a positive attitude because stress only makes autoimmune issues worse, and stressing at this point is not going to change anything. It's not going to change my prognosis. It's not going to change my diagnosis. So there is no need to stress. I'm not going to stress. I'm just not going to do it. I want to be very open about everything that's going on, because I don't know how fast the degeneration is going to go. But I was told today by my rheumatologist that she would like to start infusions in 2 weeks. It takes that long to do certain testing. They do blood testing for, I think it's tuberculosis and hepatitis. They want to make sure that you don't have that before they start these infusions, because the infusions will lower your immunity to help your system fight the pain and the inflammation and the degeneration. But it does open you up to risks to getting sicker. There is an increased risk of, like I said, infections, just basic illnesses. There is an increased chance of getting certain types of cancers. But I think it's worth it. I think if this medication works, I think it's going to be worth it, because I have young kids. My youngest is 8, my oldest is 12. Yeah, they're getting ready to have birthdays next month, but they're still young, and I need to be able to function and at least see them through to an age where they're more self-sufficient, and they're not there. They need at least a few more years of guidance. So I'm going to fight this as much as I can. There's no cure, but I'm going to fight tooth and nail to keep my body as healthy as possible for my kids. It's all for my kids. It will always be for my kids. And I'm going to try and keep it together. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So 2 weeks roughly is when I will be starting Remicade infusions. And apparently I go in, they hook me up to IV, and it usually takes about 2 hours. And they say the first few sessions, which the first few I think are going to be 2 weeks apart, and then once I get to maintenance level, I think I'll be doing it like every 8 weeks, as long as I tolerate the medication well. But they say that a lot of people end up with a lot of headaches from this medicine, which I already have. I have tons of headaches. But I think I was kind of a little bit in shock when she was telling me a lot of this information earlier, so I'm not sure a lot of it penetrated or that I'm retaining it properly, but I think they will put acetaminophen, Tylenol in with your infusion, as well as Benadryl, because you can get allergic reaction at like your injection site. So I'm expected to be extremely tired to the point of like near exhaustion, not wanting to get out of the bed for like 48 to 72 hours after the infusion. So we're just gonna have to play it by ear, see how that goes. It may affect this channel. It may definitely affect my other channel, but it's what I need to do, and I'm okay with that. I have accepted that this is just the cards that I was dealt, and I'm going to make the best of it. It's kind of that old adage, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. That's what I'm doing. I'm making lemonade. I'm going to get through this the best that I can, and I'm going to be here for my kids. And and like I said, I'm chronicling this for my kids, because none of us know how long we have on this earth, and I want my kids to be able to look back and know everything that I went through, the progression and everything else, because they're just too young to understand right now what is happening with me. They know I'm sick. They understand that. But they don't understand it on a level where they're going to retain it, where they might need it later in life if they start to have some symptoms or, some illness that's unexplained, or, they have something and they understand enough that they have something, but they couldn't remember what I had in order to give a family history when they go to the doctor. So that's what this is all about. That's what this whole channel is about. It is to, give hope to others and try to be positive about it. But bottom line, this is all about my kids. And like everything is always about my kids. And I really hope that this helps them someday. I hope they never have to deal with this. But in case they do, I want them to have all of the knowledge they possibly can about what I've gone through, so that maybe that helps them down the road with getting a diagnosis or getting some answers that they might not otherwise be able to get. I am going to have to break this to other family members, because a lot of this is genetic, and who knows who else in my family might have this gene and might be susceptible to it, or might already have some issues that maybe they're just not speaking about. And me talking with my other family members, letting them know, I just can't talk today, letting my family members know what is going on, so that if they are having some things that they're dealing with, and just not telling anyone, that they can maybe talk to their doctors about it and get proper diagnosis and treatment and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting. I am excited to start this new medication, very hopeful that it can work, and we're just going to play it by ear. That's all we can do, and just remain positive. I am making dietary changes that was suggested by my rheumatologist. She said definitely stick with real whole foods, which I try to anyway. I'm trying to completely limit and eradicate anything processed in my diet that isn't always possible. Like I've been living on the Gatorade Zero for the last 4 days because prepping for an endoscopy, colonoscopy, I was not able to eat much and I was dehydrated, losing my electrolytes, and so that was kind of like a stopgap to get me through that, but it's done, it's over. I don't want to have that kind of stuff in my life anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna, if I have the time and the energy, I'm going to start talking more about my food, what I'm eating on a daily basis, maybe even cook some recipes, try some new recipes, you know, just experiment, because it's going to be a drastic difference between what I was used to eating into what I have to do now. And yeah, I'm a foodie. I fully admit that I'm a foodie. I like to eat. I like to cook. I like to bake. Baking is, you know, that's not good for me right now. But yeah, it's going to get interesting. I can't wait to see where this journey takes me. I hope it takes me to some good places. And I hope we have some success with the Remicade. And I will definitely keep you guys updated on that. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much everything. So this is just another chapter in my journaling of my life with chronic illness.